Welcome to the Tim Show. I'm Tim Wetter Morrison. Now each week I invite a couple of buddies over to have a bit of a cordial, we have a bit of a sing-song, and I show them some of my postcards from Hollywood. Ooh, and they're looking pretty flash too. I visit the whānau in New Zealand and around the globe, and I even score some A-listers. Now, this week we've got a Tim Show special, episode 3, involvement of the Kiwis. I'm talking Star Wars. We find out how they make us clones. And I catch up with Rena Owen and talk to the producer, Rick McCullum, and talk to the big guy, George Lucas. So, lightsabers on!
This stream is live during the 2023 WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Without the labor of the writers and actors currently on strike, the content being covered here wouldn't exist. Stay Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Bombadcast on this wonderful Thursday. If you haven't joined us, every Thursday we're going live. We got 2 more weeks. Well, not besides this episode. 2 more weeks of Ahsoka after this, man. Oh, I'm so sad. But you can join us for some really fun programming we have coming up in October. But yeah, every Thursday at 8 p.m. we start a little early tonight because we have a guest that has to go back to Peridia because she is a great mother. So we're going to accommodate that. We don't want to get any spells cast on us. That being said, welcome for coming. And I am very, very, very excited because Bombad Gaming hopefully will make a return next week. Just Ahsoka's really gotten to us, y'all. It's taken me on a whole new route, and I'm gonna bring Jerry in real quick, and then we'll bring in our guests. Jerry, how we feeling, dude? I gotta hear this one more time, just one more time. Singing Dave.
What's up? Hey, I want to hear you say it. Listen, I have been having a time with this show. All of us have. But I think I've talked about in our group chats and all the bibs and bobs going around.
Yep.
That I end up off of my couch, my perch that I usually sit on to watch these things. I end up on the floor with this show. This show draws me. I'd like it. Listen, whenever Ahsoka ended up in World Between Worlds and we see Anakin pop up, I always say this is what I'm saying. I popped off the couch, prostrate on the ground, praying to my deity, and just absolutely lost my mind. We have where's our live
reaction? This is us.
Here we go. We got it. It's coming up real quick. Here we go. Live.
Holy
The
That
world
was-
between
that was-
worlds.
That was me and Scotty.
Oh.
Right there. That was me and Scotty.
Oh
God.
man.
It was insane. It's been so this has been absolutely bonkers. It's been absolutely bonkers.
And like, I didn't think it could be topped, but here we are. And you know who else is here? We got a couple of guests. I want to bring.
we got a couple. We do. We
a-
probably need to bring
Look
him
at
in.
Jerry's
Yes.
big beer mug. Go back. Hold on. That's amazing. Okay,
It's,
so
it's actually empty. No, I'm just kidding. It's like
Oh,
one of those freezy ones. No, it's not.
So we're gonna bring in our first guest of the evening.
real.
Super last minute. I managed to get her on, and I'm very excited because this was the episode for her. Even before we planned it, I had no idea. This person.
We had
is a
no
good
idea
friend
the
of
great
ours.
mothers were going to be in the episode, and then we have a great mother on this episode. So it's
right
just-
here.
it is
right,
to mindless clapping seals. Let's do this. Yes,
Here we
mindless
go.
clapping seals. Come on,
Who invited you here?
the one and only
Becca!
Becca Benjamin.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh,
Dave Filoni singing to us. I really am.
Woo!
I
It's so
love
good.
that.
Do we want to see it one more time? Do we want to see it one more time?
Please. Please.
Please do.
It
Come
makes
on.
me
Come
happy.
on. Here we go.
Please.
Where we go? Where we go? Where we go? Scotty, you got it?
oh yeah, I got it.
Hold on.
Of
I
course
got
have
it. I got it.
Wanna have you near me? I wanna have you hear me say it.
There's nobody.
Okay, and before we bring our next guest in, I have to give a special shout out live. Becca hooked me up one time. Becca's got good connections, and she has her own version of this shirt. And we happened to give one of these to Ann Combry, which is Dave Filoni's wife. And Dave got his own version of it too. Not sure if he wears it, probably weird, but I had to get this made at celebration and given out to them. So
Can you imagine they go to farmers markets wearing them together?
Yeah, their
I'm
own
sure.
faces.
That's what they do, right?
They probably go to
And
the train
Dave, send us a
station
pic.
together like
Yeah.
that.
yep.
Absolutely. And Dave,
Oh.
send us a pic of you guys in your shirts. We'd love it.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
please.
Yeah,
Watching the
that's great.
Bombad cast.
Becca, welcome to the Bombad cast, and I hope you're ready for the Bombad energy, great mother, because we're off the walls.
No, Becca, if you
noticed.
don't mind, I would love for you to plug your show up top. I have a QR code coming up.
Please, yes.
That will give everything anyone needs to be able to go and watch Tarkin's Top Shelf and your other programs as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Of
All right.
course.
So, yeah, I am co-host along with Mark Suter at Tarkin's Top Shelf. Basically, we
There's the
review
QR code.
all the books. It could be visual guides, actual novels, young adult novels, comics even. We even get a chance every so often to interview some of the authors, which are awesome. Not just authors of books, but authors of comics. Sometimes we even have on other podcasters to talk about their favorite Star Wars book. And every so often we get lucky to talk to even other Star Wars Lucasfilm people like, Kristen Baver and, people like that, which is awesome. I also do Kanata's Castle with Red 5 Mom, who's always standing by. Basically,
Always.
we are the Star
right
Wars
here.
podcast that's rated E for everything. So, or E for everyone. Excuse me. She's probably laughing at me because I am tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. So sorry. And I'm an
Eat for everyone,
old great
very
mother.
unlike this show. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you can find those shows. Basically, Tarkin's Top Shelf is at Tarkin's Top Shelf all across social media, and Kanata's Castle is Kanata's Castle, unless you're on X, formerly known as Twitter. It is Castle Kanata. So
Well, look, the QR code's up there. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch any of Becca's stuff or
Scan.
be on any of the streams or listen to her episodes, I mean, they're fantastic work, and especially when it comes to having those opportunities, your Star Wars authors. So, Becca, super excited to have you here. I want to bring in one other person as well for the stream, a good friend of our shows, the legendary, the one and only, one of my favorite Twitter follows ever, Bombad Daniel. Let me get that video rolling for Bombad, and I've got something special for Bombad Daniel. Let's see.
Ooh,
Let's see.
fancy,
Bombad
fancy. Look
Daniel,
at this.
here we go.
Special treat.
Might go off, or I don't know, what kind of practical jokes do you play?
Well, with my new chemistry set, thanks to Brie Larson, I do like to make stink bombs.
Daniel,
All
you
right.
here, bud? There we go. I got
What's
some
up?
pictures
I'm
of Daniel.
here.
So Daniel's
Daniel-
video
He got
Yes.
lost in the Daniel got lost in
Yeah,
the
I can hear you
void
guys.
between here and Perdidia. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the world between worlds, everyone.
Wonderful. Look, I'll give you some
If
visuals.
you're
y'all.
not force sensitive enough, it
Show
might
the
just appear as a
visual.
blank screen. So
Yes,
Just a black
Yeah.
square, a black box.
this is our
Oh,
wonderful
yeah.
friend Bombad Daniel for y'all to
Yeah.
get a good visual going
Yeah.
right here.
I'm in the Obi-Wan hat.
Yes.
So
yeah,
there you go. Yeah, you can show more. Yep, me and Kristen,
there you
baby.
go.
Yep. And there's more.
Look at there.
Yep.
Look at there.
That's another one.
This guy
Yeah.
gets
Awesome.
around
Yeah.
the Star Wars conventions. It
There we
seems.
go.
Yeah.
Alex and
Aw.
Molly.
Alex and Molly, good friends
Yeah.
of the show.
Yay.
Uh-huh.
And
that.
Oh
Nubs.
yeah, there's
Nubs.
that one.
Nubs
Nation.
Nubs. Doesn't get better
Also a
than
good
Nubs.
friend of the show.
Nubs
Yep.
is
Good friend of
supreme.
my
Then-
6-year-old daughter as well.
Nubs is
So.
supreme. Love it.
Yeah.
So, Bombad
Yeah,
Daniel.
oh, yeah. And there's more.
Oh, yeah, I got some more. I'm going to get them
Just-
pulled up in just a second.
Yeah. Introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You can follow me on Twitter, DanRS87, Instagram, JMD96 what?
Was that? You good,
Oh,
buddy?
go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. We were
Hang on.
listening to you, man. You were on it.
Hang on.
You're all good. You're all good, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to get Daniel's stuff pulled up right here. Give me 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're going to you just
Yeah,
fine.
we got
Hold
you.
up.
We got you. Chat, y'all can hear Daniel okay, right?
Here's Bombad Daniel's QR code. Oh, Bombad Daniel bounced out. That's okay. We'll keep this thing going.
Daniel will be popping in and out. He's got a little bit of a bad Wi-Fi situation, but we will listen. He will be all throughout this episode for sure. Here we
Let
are.
me
He's
see
right.
if I
Here we go. Back.
Daniel,
Listen,
you hear us now?
Sorry, I just said it.
Not.
You good?
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, sending you a
Listen.
message. Yeah,
Oh,
what's up?
perfect.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no.
Not.
So what do
not
we do
great,
now? So- Yeah.
No, you're
sorry, I
good.
just
Not,
had
not
to
great
redo
reception in the
connection.
world between worlds. It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
true.
okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll continue on what you were gonna say when
I was going to
things
say
got
Bombad Daniel
mucky.
is one of my favorite people. He's a great follow. You see that
Same.
QR code up there?
Oh,
If you
absolutely.
want to give him a follow, it's all right there. Make sure you get the
Yeah.
scan in and be a part of Look, the sweet Bombad boy. That's completely
Yeah,
right.
here we
I
go. I'll,
completely agree.
I'll give my things where to find me. Yeah, follow me on Twitter, DanRS87, Instagram, JMD96_YT, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jedi Master Daniel 96, which kind of been on a hiatus due to the strikes and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I even kind of made a recent video explaining why there wasn't Ahsoka coverage on my channel. So
Yeah.
this is technically my first Ahsoka coverage on YouTube,
Hey.
if that counts. So yeah, I mean,
Oh.
probably hopefully we'll.
I don't
have the
think we
strike-
count.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have the strike over with when the show's over, and then I'll likely have some coverage along there when the strike's over. So yeah. You said you were gonna show more pictures and all that stuff.
Yes, I'm trying to get him queued up right now. Give me 1 second. But
Oh, we got
yeah.
Grand Admiral Thrawn in the chat tonight too.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
Oh,
Skitty
yeah.
pop. I love to smoke pot with Enoch. I don't know what's going on with Thrawn tonight, but I guess you get really bored over in Perdidia. I can imagine. So
Yeah.
lots of
Well-
hiking though. I would think.
Oh, totally a ton of hiking. So to kind of get into the episode, let me get some more. Let me get these last images pulled up by Bombad Daniel. He's got some with some close friends of ours, close collaborators too. Heck, even one of myself and Jerry. But so y'all can get the good visual going. You when you hear Daniel talking, I'll obviously pull up these photos as he talks. But look, there's one right there, Bombad
Yep.
Daniel.
Uh-huh.
Another classic right here, me and
Yep.
Bombad Daniel.
Yeah, oh,
and then
yeah.
another legendary one, Trey, other one known as Trent, Michael, and Jerry with Bombad Daniel. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
look, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. I'm sitting here, that intro kicks in, and it's Hu Yang and Ahsoka. And you know, we were already like blessed enough to have this really amazing moment between them, and obviously doing more lore diving than I would have ever expected. But that amazing moment where you see intergalactic hyperspace and it's like rainbow shards flying past. Oh, dude.
So
Okay.
psychedelic. Absolutely
So psychedelic.
psychedelic. So cool.
Oh, that was awesome.
And I love that this episode brought up a certain word often, the word of fate, which is not really thrown around in Star Wars as often as you think it
Oh,
would.
Very good.
We had Ahsoka bring it up, and we also had obviously the threat of fate from the witches. Becca, what did you think of that intro? That whole moment they got to share together.
Oh, I loved it. Again, going back to the faded, I love that because when you hear Ahsoka talk about Sabine being faded, and then again, something that's been really at the forefront of this entire series, which is Ahsoka feeling like she has not prepared Sabine enough for the difficult decisions, for the choices and the right decision to be made. And it's interesting because really, is there such a thing as a right and wrong decision? Like Hu Yang is really trying to break this down to her that it's her own fear of what Sabine chose, not because he even says, he goes, Sabine chose what was the only answer for Sabine. And it made me think of Anakin. Anakin made the decision that was only the decision that Anakin could make. It was the only choice for him. Just like Sabine doing what she did to go to Ezra, it was the only choice in her mind, in her perspective. And Ahsoka needs to just let that go. Let that be. It is what it is. You thought she learned that already in the previous episode. You know, I mean, you know, Anakin was trying to knock some sense into her, literally, about that. But yeah, I love the whole. Now, first of all, I've wanted the Lando Calrissian Chronicles, but now I want Hu Yang's stories of the galaxy, 1, 2, and 3.
We just became best friends. Okay,
one being the best. I just want to throw that out there.
I love that Ahsoka. Yeah, here we go. Oh, boom! Hey, high five. I'll give it back to you. I love that Ahsoka is a Phantom Menace fan.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's the way I interpreted it.
I did too, because that's the order. You know,
So look,
prequels are the first trilogy, original be the second. Sequel, yes. Yeah.
That opening where he says, I've done, what did he say was the exact line? It was like, I've done plenty of things, but riding in a space whale to a different galaxy is not one of them. And it's so cool to have this book out now, right? And it says right here, 25,020 BBY, Professor Hu Yang powered up. The architect droid Professor Hu Yang begins training Jedi younglings in the delicate art of lightsaber construction. Like he experienced all of it. Like he tapped into that archive.
Lightsaber construction and kicking ass.
And then we get what we've been hearing since 1977, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. As he begins his story, I was like, really? Oh my God. Like you can have it right there. I was happy. I was like tears.
Oh,
like,
I was tearing.
My jaw was on the floor in my lap. It was in my lap. I couldn't believe that this was actually being uttered.
I know. Daniel, what do you think of
so well too?
Oh, yeah,
right, and from a droid, because
hang on.
Isn't
Sorry,
George
Daniel.
on record saying that if he could, he would have either C-3PO and R2-D2 tell the stories?
There
so
we
this
go.
is, you know, Dave is following suit here, and I absolutely love that. So
he's doing so well. Daniel, what were your thoughts, buddy, on all that?
I like that bit when he does bring up a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and I think we will actually, you know, see that in like different perspective now. Like next time we watch, you know, Star Wars, you know, whether we're rewatching the movies or, you know, seeing the future movies down the line, with seeing that on the screen a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, like we're good now. It will add so much more to it, you know. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah. And I think
it's so unique to have that moment, like just fall so beautifully into place. Like it wasn't ham-fisted at all. He was like, let me think. And I love that she was like,
so
I'd rather.
elegant.
She was like, just tell one of those stories, and you
she's
pick.
like, you pick, and I absolutely love that. She's okay with that. You know, it all fits in really well to something she said in Rebels, which is there's always a little bit of truth to legends. And see, I absolutely love that this all fits together. It's all connected, you know, all across the board. And that takes a lot of work to make sure these things all line up the way he's been doing. So he's doing great. He's doing great.
Doing really good. I want to shout out real quick. This is going to be an odd shout out. Me and my therapist talk about Star Wars a lot because he watches these shows as well. And we were talking.
Sorry, I'm not laughing because you have a therapist. I'm just,
no, it's kidding. Ha! You're in therapy. Your brain doesn't work as good. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. But no. Good evening, Wikipedia. We're glad to have you here. he actually made it was just an interesting point the way he said. He's like, it was cool hearing someone say that, because when you think about it, he said, and I told him I would say this on the show, that he says it's like that galaxy's stories are the Star Wars for them.
Oh
Yes.
God, that's
And
cool.
I'm like, that's why you get paid the big bucks to help people with their brains, sir. You are so I was like, that's such a cool thought. Can I please share that? So good. Shout out to my therapist. Brian's a really cool guy. We talk about we end or begin every session talking about Star Wars. So anyway.
Well, I'm just telling you,
Go get a
as someone
therapist,
who works, as someone who works in the medical field, you're going against your own HIPAA, just so you know. But hey,
I didn't say the
Just
last
you know.
name. I did
No,
ask.
you're revealing your conversations. Never mind. Anyway,
That's true.
go on.
Oh.
Well, they don't. Listen, we can get into my other issues if you guys want to, but like I said, this show
don't have
has already
time.
done that enough.
We don't have
Already
time.
done that enough.
No, so I want to bring this in because this honestly was confirmed by Dave at Celebration 2022. I don't know if y'all saw that video going around.
I did.
But
I did.
okay, so Andy Gutierrez in the Star Wars Celebration stage straight up asked Dave. Now, my cousin Troy sent me this. So shout out to Troy. He watches the show. He's probably watching it on Twitch right now. But he sent me
Troy
this, and this is incredible. So Filoni straight up said this. It's not it's going to be from my phone, but this is insane.
The way we do it, baby.
Want to know where he is? I'll tell you where he is. He's far, far away.
Unbelievable. It's been under our nose.
Dave, you tricky
for
little minx.
2 years almost.
I know you're watching right now, Dave. I know you're watching right now. You tricky little minx. We love you.
Oh,
We love you, you bastard.
he has a way of doing it. Y'all, when this episode opened up, I didn't know where we were gonna go. And obviously,
Not a clue.
Peridia, automatically that drop. Becca, I gotta know, did you stand up when they said my ancestors, the Dathomiri? So now we got a new like species title. What did you think of that?
Well, come on. There's got to be. I see. All right. I love the fact that they did it this way because for me, it felt expanded universe. It felt like, the original, that book. Now it's escaping me. The one where Leia marries Han.
Oh, Courtship of Princess Leia.
Princess Leia. Yes. When we
Thanks,
get
Daniel.
in that book, it really sounded, witchy lore, not exactly Night Sister, but witches, Macbeth, that type of witches. And I love it because I'm sorry, there's clans. Okay. There's not just what we saw the Purge in the Clone Wars. There's more than that because there's this little short story called Bug. And it's in the Clone Wars anthology series, The Light and the Dark. And it's the last story in there. And there is this Night Sister. Her name is Falta. And she's not part of a clan because she doesn't want to be one that brings death and destruction. She wants to create life. So, like the fairy tale Thumbelina, if we're all familiar, right?
Of course.
the little girl born in the flower. She creates her own child through a plant, and she's born made of clay because she does pottery, Falta. But eventually, throughout time and throughout years, her daughter gets manipulated by Mother Talzin, and then Falta goes on this journey to find her long lost child because she doesn't believe she died in the Purge. So there's other clans. I'm just saying, Falta's out there somewhere. Okay.
I just love that we're in a time now
I'm getting
where
real
we can
sweaty.
have this happen. And like, look, if you played Jedi Fallen Order, you already are exposed to the Dathomir, right? And I guess the
Yep.
Dathomir.
Oh yeah.
Now. And you're
Dathomiri.
exposed. If you watch Clone Wars, you're-
Dathomirians, I think was what it originally was. The Dathomiri
Yeah.
is like a very cool. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, absolutely.
And then I remember. Oh, wait, guys, can I say something? And I
No,
remember in Oh yeah, and I remember in Book of Boba Fett they mentioned something about the Dathomir Night Witches riding Rancors, which is something that did happen in Legend. So they did canonize that in Book of Boba Fett.
Yes. And I
Oh.
went crazy over that one little line. And I don't know, I just got a glimpse of hope that we would get them at some point down the line. And we already had it from The Mandalorian, and we just didn't realize it. That
Oh.
Morgan was right there in front of our face. But if you think about it, that episode makes sense. Everything outside of that compound was dead and destroyed and decaying. Everything within the compound was bursting with life. Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I didn't make that connection till just now. It's funny when you talk about this stuff, or as Star Wars fans, whenever we have the opportunity to kind of dissect everything, we always have, I guess, these moments of clarity, like having Star Wars be so fantasy high, it automatically connects to other mythologies. And I know before we went on to this, Becca, you brought in some pretty interesting things about what these witches really mean in a metaphorical sense. Do you mind kind of, I guess we already talked about it, but do you mind kind of repeating it again for the people that were actually watching this time?
Well, I'm not an expert. I love it. They're just so awesome.
So cool.
And everyone is saying that's Claudia Black in the center. So I'm
okay.
hoping that that's the case. I don't know for certain.
Mhm.
I don't think they were listed. I don't remember in the credits, but that being said, they're just awesome. My daughter, who just turned 26, just had a birthday on the 19th. Yay. She's very much into Wicca, very much into tarot cards. So she studies all this stuff. So
Yeah.
with witches going all the way back to Shakespeare and Macbeth and all that, there's always three. It's the rule of three. Basically, what you put out into this world or galaxy, if you want, in Star Wars, whether it be positive or negative, that energy comes back at you threefold. So it's an interesting thing. If you've ever watched like The Craft and then the new Craft, it's very, very similar like to that. So whatever type of spell you put out there, whatever you're taking, whatever you're putting out there, it'll come back at you threefold. So that's scary. So whatever they're putting out there in lore, let's just say for Thrawn, it's going to come back, and not in a good way. Just saying.
Oh, not at all.
Just saying. So, and with that lore, there's always three: the mother, the maiden, and the crone, and they represent the realms of, the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. They got to have all three. As you notice, even the lasso that goes around Sabine with the three orbs, it's a triangle. It's three, which is very symbolic when it comes to witches, like the triangle, which is funny because, again, going back in Rebels, we do see that at the end of season 2 finale. We don't see how that battle between Ahsoka and Darth Vader ends. We just see him walking away with a limp and a shadow flying above him, which happens to be Morai, who then follows Ahsoka as she walks down into what looks like an ancient Sith temple, which is a dark, shadowy triangle shape.
I was going to actually pull that up right now. I was going to pull up your tweet. Give me 1 second.
Please do. And then I have that side by side, or right on top of what we get in this episode, Far, Far Away, with Balin and Shin actually on the howlers riding out from the... There it is.
God. What a great realization.
And I'm going to go one step further. I'm just going to go there. This made me think, oh my gosh, this is all connected. I mean, it has to be. If you think back to Malachor with Rebels season 2, what leads them to Malachor is the holocron that Ezra has. And that holocron is known, the voice inside is a woman. Okay, it's voiced by the same actress that voices Ventress, but it's not. This person is not playing Ventress. They're known as only the Presence. Yes, the Presence. They're an ancient one, and they tell Ezra the power to destroy life is at your command. She is the one responsible for what happened on Malachor. She turned both Jedi and Sith into stone. So is this the voice that everyone is hearing? Is this what Balin's feeling on Peridia? He feels something, a presence. I mean, Dave would never elaborate. He just said it's an ancient one, and maybe someday we'll find out.
I swear, I
Maybe.
think that day is
look
going
at
to be
this.
soon. Look, here we
Half-Boss
go.
says the Dark Side Cave Tree on Dagobah has those angled walls too.
That's
Yes.
true. It does. Now look at this. What a wild moment.
And
you
the
know,
triangle
Oh,
is
yeah.
behind them. Look at it.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. Holy cow. I think Becca's onto something on this one because
Becca's on it. Becca's
yeah,
definitely
'cause,
on it.
you know, obviously there's a lot of
Becca,
symbolism.
Becca's so more well-read than any of us. I'm sorry. So yeah, of course
Yeah.
Becca's onto it.
We're
Look.
more the book people. Yeah, me and her more
Well,
the book
Daniel as
people
well.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Look-
love it.
Daniel, what was your initial like feelings when they showed 3 like literal Night Sisters in the flesh? Like,
I
did
was
you
like-
freak out?
No, I was like, oh yes, Night Sisters in live action. Give it to us.
Yes.
I was like, yes. And then I just like, man, I was like, yes, give us all the things in animation in live
Mhm.
action.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, how do you feel like general audiences would react to the Night
See,
Sisters?
okay, Daniel, I'm so glad you brought that up because
Honestly,
I thought. Well, I want to know, Jerry, has your
Go ahead.
parents watch this? Or they're going to watch it with you.
I am interested to watch it with them because they've
Okay.
never really they've seen bits and pieces of like Clone Wars and
Mhm.
Rebels and stuff. I'm interested to watch this with them to see how they react. So when they
Mhm.
come up for Thanksgiving this year, I'm gonna watch
Okay,
this
cool.
with them, and I'm gonna see. I got to catch them up on Mandalorian too because they don't watch things when they're not with me.
And Woodsy
yeah.
is correct. Woodsy would be correct. The door to Vader's castle is also a triangle.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Wrong one.
And
Oh,
there
actually,
we
the
go.
actual ancient temple on Peridia had that tuning fork shape too, which
Yes, it
really
did.
reminded me of Darth Vader's. Yes, which is based on an ancient Sith temple. So
Mhm.
this makes
Right.
sense. These ancient ones. I mean, you have to remember the original dark magic from the Night Sisters it's a dark side,
Mhm.
version. I mean, it is. It is what
Maybe
it is.
maybe they're older than the Sith too.
Yes, you're
Oh,
right.
they
Yeah,
are.
I was
I'm
thinking that the entire
gonna say
time.
that 100%. Yeah.
Because the Sith, if you look at the timelines book, which is so funny that we can actually refer to.
I
this
love
now.
this guy. He loves the timelines book.
I'm obsessed with
I'm
it.
finally getting him into the High Republic with this.
You know,
So
I'm
he
just
really
gonna
is.
say
Oh, yeah.
it. At the
He's not going to read the
Tales,
book. He'll read the
at the
boards.
Tales of the Jedi panel in 2022 at Anaheim, Dave said he was going to really bring home, mom stories because moms are important. But I didn't think he was going to bring the great mothers.
Look at him.
He went
One
well
more time.
beyond what he had
Look
to.
at this. Let's look at this one more time. Unbelievable. And I was talking to y'all prior to this that it felt like Dune. Like it felt so Dune
Yes.
because it felt
Very Dune.
the environment felt sterile but clouded, and it felt very methodical. Every movement they
Yeah.
committed, and I love that Sabine kind of broke that not that she broke the seriousness, but she was the needed kind of your breath's taken out the room when you see Balin talking with them, and then you see Morgan Elsbeth talking with them. You're like, this is so weird, and they're like,
Yeah.
it reeks of Jedi, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude,
it is like
that
That
line
was so Macbeth. That was
so Macbeth.
yeah.
so
So
badass.
look, I think you're right, Becca, because it says right here.
Oh, it's so cool.
5,000 BBY, creeping darkness. A dark side sect splinters from the Jedi, causing the formation of the Sith. This fractures the genesis of the millennia-long rivalry. So, I think you're 100% on that in terms of the Night Sisters being way older, and hopefully, with James Mangold's story,
I
maybe
do
we'll
hope
get
so.
more Hu Yang, talking about the past, the beginning of the Jedi Order,
Oh,
them coming from a different galaxy. Oh, it's so good. So.
Dune, George was inspired by Dune.
That's right.
Absolutely.
100%.
yeah.
The Bene Gesserit and the having to be witches now, and then
Oh,
you've got Muad. What's Paul's the Fremen name? The Muad'Dib.
Atreides. Is it Atreides?
No, that's
Well,
his
no,
family
it's
name.
the Fremen name.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Fremen name, Muad'Dib, I believe is what
Oh,
it was.
I gotta rewatch that.
I love
gotta
that
rewatch
movie.
Dune Part 1 before.
So,
this part comes out.
Okay, okay. Jerry, what you want to say? Because I have something I
was
want to
gonna
bring
say
up.
was, see, you got the. Were you wanting to keep the Dune aesthetic? Because if so, you go ahead, my friend.
Oh yeah, please keep it fantasy,
Okay.
keep it weird, keep it sci-fi without all the.
Here's the thing that I got. I got
Mhm.
big time 80s fantasy vibes and everything
man.
like that, like Willow, Dark Crystal, things like that,
Yes.
especially with the Howler and everything.
Mhm.
And like it's honestly with the Willow series that just came out, this felt just like the Willow series.
Yep.
It makes me really want him. I really want John to be able to finish that. And I want to be able to watch it again. So Disney,
Yeah,
please
right.
settle it.
The Howlers actually
it's really
reminded
cool.
me a little bit of. You guys are gonna laugh at me. Oh my
We
gosh!
already said it, Charlie.
You missed that,
Where am I
Charlie.
going? I'm tired and I'm not thinking the right
You're
title.
good.
The Princess Bride with the giant
Oh!
rats.
Oh,
That's what I
yes.
thought
I
they
mean,
were,
look,
like,
same difference. Same difference.
But that's
though.
what I thought of when I first saw them. I'm like, oh my God, Mark Suter's gonna be loving this because he loves it. He loves that movie. But that's the feeling I got. But I love the Howlers. They're such good, loyal animals, aren't they? I mean, he came back to Sabine.
When
What
you
a good
first
boy.
see it, it is like it has a little bit of that
The
like
rat look.
kind of scary look.
Yeah.
It looks like a scary like giant rat, and you're like, oh, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
This is a cool. Well, yeah, at first I'm like, this is a cool, this is a cool animal to ride.
Yes,
But then
Labyrinth,
the
they're
more
never
you
any
go
story. I
along,
agree with that.
I'm actually excited this weekend to show my. So whether Becca, I don't know if the Great Mother would agree with me or not. I've been showing my 6-year-old Ahsoka because she's seen Rebels and she wants to find. She wants Ezra to be found, and I'm really excited to show her this episode. But just like every little piece of this episode, the more it goes, it starts off serious, but the more it goes along, the more it gets like there's just that childlike wonder. There's that that fantasy that you want in like a fairy tale. If this feels like a fairy tale, more than like Star Wars has always been a fairy tale, but this feels more fairy tale than any that we've gotten so far.
Well, it depends on who you are because Shin would tell you sometimes stories are just stories.
Okay,
But
wait. I'm
I
so
love
glad
that.
you just said that. I'm so
I
because I was
know.
going to bring this up. We finally get the motivations for Balin here, and that's something we've all been waiting for. And then the exact line is, "This is a land of dreams and madness, and stories of this galaxy are folk tales." Okay, and there's a huge dump of mythology. And look, I'm sorry, I always bring up Joseph Campbell, but I pulled a direct quote this time.
Dude,
from
I
The
always bring up
Power
my
of the
kid. You're
Myth. Okay, so yeah, Joseph Campbell's my child. So this is a conversation between Bill Moyers and Joseph Campbell. Okay, one thing in particular. You can see right here in the second line by Campbell. Yes, the folk tale is for entertainment. The myth is for spiritual instruction. And there's a fine saying in India with respect to these two orders of myths, the folk idea and the elementary idea. The folk aspect is called the desi, which means provincial, having to do with your society. That is for young people. It's through that young person is brought into society and taught to go out and kill monsters. Okay, boom. Already got some pretty cool Georgian stuff there. Okay, here's a soldier suit, and we got the job for you. There's also an elementary idea. The Sanskrit name is called Marga, which means path puridia. It's the trail back to yourself. The myth comes from imagination, and it leads back to it. The society teaches you what myths are, and then disengages you so that in your meditations, you can follow the path right in. So this is the best part. Civilizations are grounded in myth. The civilization of the Middle Ages was grounded on myth of the fall in the garden, the redemption of the cross, and the carrying of grace, redemption to man through the sacraments. The cathedral was the center of the sacrament, and the castle was the center of protecting the cathedral. There you have two forms of government, the government of spirit and the government of physical life, both in accord with one source, namely the grace of the crucifixion. So then it says right here, but within those two spheres, ordinary people told little tales of leprechauns and witches. There are three centers of what might be called mythological folkloric creativity in the Middle Ages. One is a cathedral, and all that is associated with the what's that word? I can't even read it. It's too small for me. I'm sorry.
I honestly got lost like the
Sorry.
first little page in. You're
Hermitage.
good.
A second is the castle. The third is the cottage where the people are. The cathedral, the castle, the cottage. You go to any of those areas in high civilization, you will see the same. The temple, the palace, the town. They are different generating centers, but in so far, that's one civilization. They're operating from the same symbolic field. So what you have here is a really incredible analysis of the things that make up myth, because they are legitimate. They are the human spirit acting through story. And I love that Shin is so dismissive, but it's not dismissive. This shit is real.
Yes.
Dave gets
another big important thing, and I think that really connects to where they are right now, what's happening right now, is when Balin says this land is of dreams and madness. There is something really not right with Peridia. You see it as soon as you see Thrawn. First of all, you see a ship. It's still damaged. There is a symbol in the bottom of the ship. I couldn't really make out what it is.
It was the
But then
Chimera. It was
okay.
the Chimera. Yeah.
There it
so
is.
Yeah.
more
So
folklore.
you see that, and then you see Thrawn, and he's been stitching as best as he can for 8 to 10 years his uniform.
Yes.
You know. And not only is he stitched, but every single stormtrooper is red, bandaged, or you can see blaster holes and things in there, and they don't sound right. They echo, and they listen to this golden mask stormtrooper who looks like something out of, the Grimm's fairy tales, which is really creepy. And yeah, I'm sorry, but the first thing I thought of is they're not alive. They're undead. They're undead. They're not right. Stay away
Think
from
they're gonna
them.
be zombies?
Oh yeah.
They've gotta-
I really do.
Night Troopers is the name in the
Yes,
in
I saw it in the
things,
captions.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and you got to think too, y'all. Like, why else would Thrawn have, who has already been through a lot when it came to the force sensitive, or I guess not really force sensitive, but the Purgils that communicated with Ezra? Like, why would he ever want to go back to people that are force sensitive? And they also want to get the hell off that planet. And he straight up says that. He straight up says, like, I don't want to be here any more than I have to be.
Right, because their
And-
troops are dwindling. There's something wrong. There's something not right. There's a whole EU book trilogy of death stormtroopers. They got infected with this virus, and it eats away at their, their flesh, and it's fast spreading. But yet, once it overtakes you, you can sustain a lot of damage, and they don't even have to speak to one another. This platoon, they can talk to each other through telepathy and all move as one. And it's really creepy. My son actually loves that because it's actually shown in one of the video games out there somewhere that he used to play.
Are you talking about Death Troopers?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I started to think.
So I think this might be a play on that.
I think so.
I think there's something sick in
Dave's
the
take.
land.
Look,
This is
which explains
interesting.
Ezra.
This is interesting. I don't think the troopers are dead, but they are transporting coffins of dead Night Sisters.
which the catacombs. Like, why else would you go to the catacombs?
Well, there's
right.
but there's something not right with those troopers. If you look at them, they are pieced together, literally.
They're
not right. They act like
Kintsugi
zombies.
troopers. Honestly,
they're not right.
So, and they're facing like, and you see what's even weirder is I remember watching one of the scenes in there. They have one of the troopers like moves really weird. He's like doesn't move like a normal stormtrooper. Like, he doesn't like move his head. He's like kind of moving his body. Like, he's kind of like, like fritzing out or something. I mean, there is something very strange going on.
Something's going on.
And like, I know I had a huge conspiracy brain thing in one of our group chats, Jerry, but I also have one that I talked to Becca about. I want to bring it up. Okay. I got to bring it up.
Okay.
So we know that there's a darkness calling to Balin. We know that the thread of fate, whatever that means, is something that's occurring between the Great Mother, right? And then I guess the Great Mothers. And this is something that I had some speculation on. And look, I will unofficially cite a discussion that Becca had with Anne for Podathon 2021. It was on this channel. We were talking with Anne about Dave a little bit and what Dave gets his inspiration from, and she happened to tell us that Dave, they had a leak in their house and that a little fungus had grown underneath or some area in their bathroom, and they were getting it repaired, and that straight up she was like, yeah, Dave would tell me like, how do I put this in Ahsoka? Or something along the lines of that. And I'm like, who? So my brain went here. Okay, here we go. This is very heavy stuff. So the planet Peridia is almost root for this word, peridium, the protective layer that encloses a mass of spores and fungus. The outer covering, okay, is a protective gashwood fungi. So it's a gaseous fungi. Keep that in mind. These right here are ants in tropical forests. These things called cordyceps, which are a type of fungus. They will end up having the spores attached to the back of the ant's spinal cord, going through their folds in their actual skins, and then going into their brain and taking over their brain as zombies. I don't think I'm reaching, but I think I'm
No, I
probably
don't
reaching.
think you are.
Like
The Last of
fungal
Us Star Wars
infection.
version. Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
fungal infection. I'm convinced. And yes, 100% in some capacity they could pull it off. It's not impossible, you know? It's not going to be the Yuuzhan Vong. I don't think it's going to be the Grisk. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think it's going to be something way different, way more
Well, that's
fantasy.
back in the other galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. That's another galaxy far, far away. But
Yes.
this also makes sense with something being wrong with Peridia, with the land, because Ezra tells Sabine they move around a lot. They never stay in one place long. There's a reason for that.
Oh man, God.
So
look,
yeah.
I wanna bounce to you, Bombad Daniel. What do you think? I'm off base here. What do you think? You think there's some connections to be made?
Yeah, about what you were saying about you don't think the Vong or the Grisk will show up.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
I heard some theories about bringing Abeloth in, who's the mother of the Mortis people. If you read the EU, that's the Mortis people, Abeloth. So if you're with the one, so yeah.
She's the mother, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Abeloth. Okay,
I saw someone say that, but after this week's episode, like, okay, all right.
Here's an image of Abeloth. I got one queued up.
It's very
real quick.
creepy.
It is very creepy. Let's see if it loads.
It's the
good.
the mouth.
And it's like,
and then she has like tentacles in her head.
She looks like a Japanese
Medusa.
ghost. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like those.
There it
that,
is.
like,
not a fan. I don't know if they would go that dark. I mean, they could tone it down, but I don't know. This show has proven to me that anything is possible at this point. Like everything's on the table. We've got the World Between Worlds last week, and this week somehow, and I'm not saying anything against the last episode, this for me topped it. This episode was like, here's this, like here's some insane stuff, and we haven't even talked about this yet. Why haven't we talked about this?
Oh, look at
that. My God. Y'all.
Speaking of triangles, he's got that V in his forehead there. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Jerry, did you lose your mind? Because I know Rebels was obviously your thing, you know, when it was airing.
Yeah.
And I watched
remember
Rebels.
where I was whenever the season 3 trailer that dropped that Thrawn was back. Well, I was doing dishes in my old house, like back when I was still married. Right.
Yeah.
And like that was like, it was just like absolutely mind blowing. And I thought his introduction was perfect, man. Like you just have the Star Destroyer slowly come up. You have the organ start as soon as you see the Chimera on the bottom.
Yep.
There you go. That's it's such a cool shot, man. It's just such a cool shot.
It is.
But like just to have that sitting on top of, like, just to have like a Star Destroyer just kind of dock just above this temple, right? Like it's not, it's I don't know, man. It's just a cool to have all those troopers saying Thrawn or whatever. And they start chanting Thrawn. It's
well, look, I was thankful to be honest with you,
man,
that it was more than one scene. I was genuinely afraid this whole show would kind of hinder on Thrawn being in it for maybe like 5%, like barely any of it, right? Like maybe 2 or 3 scenes. But this episode proved there is like seriously 5 or 6 different scenes with Thrawn, and I know we're guaranteed some more. He's gonna have to go back to the known galaxy in some capacity.
Yeah, sure.
So like I'm like this show has already over delivered on what I was expecting to get of Thrawn. And
absolutely,
Lars Mikkelsen, like obviously we knew the voice was good, but the actual look at this stupid
Charlie.
I love it.
Nippy little lizard guys coming on my shoulders.
I only hear it in Charlie's voice though. Little nifty lizard guys to sit on my shoulders.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love him. You know, I've always said this.
Charlie.
I don't look. Well, Charlie's great, but I'm talking about Thrawn. Charlie's great.
I love Charlie too. Thrawn's great too.
I love Thrawn because I don't think Thrawn is per se evil. I think he has a personal agenda. I don't believe he's loyal to anybody, not even the Empire. He's loyal to one and one only, himself and the Chiss, which is all one, in my opinion. And what he does is only to better his people. It's not so much about being loyal to the Empire or to the mothers or to Morgan. And I honestly don't believe, because I find this really odd. Throughout this entire show, Morgan has been in control. And then we get her in the same room as Thrawn, and all of a sudden she's submissive. I don't buy it. I
So
don't
weird.
buy it. Don't
Yeah.
buy it. Not buying it. We haven't seen the full potential of Morgan Elsbeth, and we're going to get it.
Oh, 100%.
I know he's just working with them just so he can get off Peridia, but and back into the other galaxy. But you know what? I still say they're going to come back for him. I know these Night Sisters, no matter what clan they are from, they're not stupid. They're not going to repeat their history and be purged again from the same people that did it before. They know the history. They're not dumb. So he has to be giving them something too. What that is, it has yet to be seen. But I love the fact that Thrawn is asking the right questions. He always is. He wants to know who Ahsoka is, what her history is, who her master was. And I'm telling you, he may not be rattled now, but when he hears that Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, trained as Ahsoka Tano, he is going to be shaken in his boots.
Oh, I can't wait. And I
man.
honestly so curious to know where they're going to leave it off at. Like, are they going to let him go back and she's stuck there, with Ezra and Sabine? Like,
I don't think they're going home by the end of this. I don't think anybody's going home.
If the Purrgil destroyed the ring and they're all stuck, or they all find a way to get off the actual planet and they hop around this new galaxy with new adventures and experience new Force, I guess, experiences, like the Great Mothers existing on this far off, planet Peridia. I'm just so excited to know that there's this opportunity for us to go in crazy directions, especially with a character like Thrawn. We really could get some serious heir to the Empire stuff, and you never know. We don't know what Dave's movie's about. It could be about Mando. It could be about Boba Fett. I mean, it could be about whatever. But I can tell you this much: I'm sure Ahsoka's involved in some capacity, and we may see the finale of their, ultimate rivalry now. Ahsoka versus Thrawn play out on the big screen. That's
in the Filoni movie.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about having the opportunity to watch all this now, is to have this, what is this building to? Where is this going to go? And week to week, the show is almost over-delivered. The show has been so much more than I ever thought. And of course, one of the best moments of this episode was, her Sabine getting to talk with the Noti, which I thought was awesome. Great moment. The little insignia, so awesome. Made a band of rebels out there. But this right here, this reveal was just unbelievable.
This was Star Wars meets Frozen. This was Kristoff and Anna with the rock trolls. Honestly, I was dying. That's exactly what I thought of. That's exactly what this is.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
What a moment to see them finally back together.
Love it.
Oh, and it was so beautiful. The one thing I am scared of, if I'm going to be honest with y'all, is going to be Ezra's reaction. Knowing, I wonder, like, are we going to get, Ezra the lightsaber? Are we going to get, some freak out moments between them? Like, you did what? You should have, I would have been fine out here alone. Like, and I love the cadence, and the delivery of all those lines. I'd rather not talk about that right now. Like, you really messed up, Sabine. I love
it for a second.
But oh man, you really screwed up. And you're going to have to answer to some things in a second. Especially when Ahsoka shows back up.
Wait, when do you think? Do you think this could lead to a future animated show? Do you think like something like this could be like something we get after the Bad Batch, probably?
Oh, so you're saying like their journey in general, or like what Ezra was up to?
No, like probably like after this. Do you think they could follow this up in animation in a way? Like, let's say we kind of get. Like, let's say the characters in live action with the same actors, then we get like, maybe like the people who voiced him in animation return, like get Ashley to do Ahsoka again, Taylor to do Ezra again.
I wonder, dude. I mean, Tales of the Jedi is always an opportunity, and we know
it might be in that form.
Yeah. We know we're gonna get more of that. I'm sure in some capacity.
Do you think like maybe Dave could probably? I wouldn't be surprised if he gives us Balin or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look, see, I agree. I agree.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think anyone's leaving Peridia
No.
in this season. I just don't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
What I do think has been set up from the beginning, I'm dovetailing back to what I said.
Mhm.
From the beginning, Ahsoka has been preaching how she feels she's failed with preparing Sabine to make difficult choices. And I
Yeah.
think this is what this is going to happen. I think she's going to have to make a difficult choice in between Ezra and something else. And it's going to happen. I have this feeling. I know we are happy right now
Mhm.
with
You're
this
right.
reunion, but
Whew.
like Luke
Becca?
Skywalker said in The Last Jedi, this isn't going to go the way you think.
And it's not.
Yep.
It's totally not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be the cynical person, but
No,
No.
it's all good. It's all
No,
good.
you're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am concerned for our Rebels characters. I don't think death in any capacity.
no,
But I
don't
do
either.
think there will be some pretty tumultuous things that we witness next week and the following week. And obviously Dave likes to, most of the time tie things up with a ribbon, be it Kanan being blind and then having this weird force sensitivity elevation, or, things like we have with the Purrgil obviously launching, Ezra off into another galaxy now that we know. I just have such high hopes that this season will stick the landing, because it's stuck everything else. And like, I love live action Star Wars. I love, obviously, these series that Disney Plus has given us. Not every episode has been, for me, true individual hits like this show. Like, every episode was like, how can it get better? Boom, how can it get better? From episode 3 to now, I'm dumbfounded that we're getting
Dave has put a brick on the gas pedal.
Yes.
And it's just not stopped. It's absolutely not stopped.
At all.
Like, he's getting better and better and better.
Yes.
And we know who mentored him to do live action.
That's right. We know Ryan
Yes.
Johnson had a hand there. And look,
Yep.
and I also
Uh-huh.
I made this graphic last week. Ahsoka, within you will be everything I am, the knowledge I possess, just as I inherited knowledge from my master and he from his. You're part of the legacy. Look, there is a connection straight back to the person I was quoting earlier. It's all there. And like, I don't know. I feel like we're in a very good time as a fandom. You don't see much bitching and complaining, and if you do, it's about stupid stuff like Thrawn being an older guy with who's like 60 plus years old.
Why does he look like a high school principal? Because he's just like, I mean, come on.
He is right now.
Yes,
right?
he is.
He
Let's
is a
get
high school
people,
principal.
All right. Damn it.
He's been training for what, 12 years? You know what I mean?
He's got to keep those zombies like,
In line.
not keyed up on that. They've been trapped on that Star Destroyer. It's like no running in the halls.
I mean, do you imagine how bad it smells on there? But
I couldn't imagine.
This is nothing new for Thrawn. We know from I think it was from a comic. Didn't he, like, when he was first found, because he was banished from his people. He was all long hair, scraggly, living in a hut. He's a survivor. He'll do what it takes. And he doesn't get angry. He doesn't get mad. He's very calm, cool, collected.
Very calm. And you know what? I'm hoping he might have a moment like he did with who did he shake up that one time in Rebels? He grabbed someone by the jacket and shook him up, and he's like, "I'm sorry." And you're like, who was
that?
Is it Constantine?
I think so.
Yeah, was it the one where he kind of gets aggressive and he kind of is
Yes.
grabbing He's getting confrontational.
It's about when when Slavin talks about the Calicori and he's like this trinket or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Woo! I think we could get
not. This is a man of taste, okay?
This is.
Don't go.
right.
What's Macbeth when you're around?
Well, I love that the 3 questions. Oh, I'm sorry. You asked. I think he had 5 requests. It was, who was her master? Where was she born? Who was her master? Where was she born? Did he say what species? I don't remember. There was 5
He
particular.
wants her
questions.
background, like her history.
Yes.
Background
and
history.
You know how Thrawn operates. You know he's going to study it. And I don't know. I love that the episode ended on such a high note like that, because we don't know what's going to happen. When that Purrgil come out of hyperspace, we could see some crazy bad shit, witchcraft. Like, we could see something crazy.
It is crazy because, like you said, once Thrawn learns this, there's a book. And Daniel, I know you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's called Thrawn Alliances, and it's half of it is when he's with Anakin, half is when he's with Vader, and Vader literally blows his mind because, like the Skywalkers, which are young chiss girls who can literally navigate with their mind
Mhm.
through hyperspace, Vader does it. So just when he knows Vader's Anakin. So when he learns who Ahsoka was trained by, I'm sorry, he is going to, like I said, he's going to be rattled.
Yep.
I
Oh,
mean,
You
yeah.
go, oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's also,
Exactly.
oh, wait.
Exactly. And it'll sound
Yeah,
very
wait.
elegant when he says it.
Well, and another thing
Probably
too,
more,
like
yes.
to
Perhaps.
add, yeah, because there's like
I
the
shit my
Skywalker
pants.
program. Because I was also doing a read for the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy
Mhm.
in preparation for Ahsoka, and that's also mentioned the Skywalker program
The
there.
Skywalkers.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all, I am so happy we could sit and talk about this episode, share our thoughts, share our speculation. We've got 2 more down the road. Look, we're gonna close out pretty soon. Daniel, if you don't mind, let's get some more pictures of you pulled up. Plug your things again. I'm gonna get that QR pulled up real quick. It is to Daniel's YouTube channel right here. So yeah, Daniel, tell us more about yourself, and then we can close out this show.
Oh yeah, you could subscribe to me on YouTube, Jedi Master Daniel 96. Follow me on Twitter, DanRS87. Instagram, JMD96_YT. And then you can also follow me on Blue Sky, Jedi Master Daniel 96.
nice.
So I joined that bandwagon too. Oh yeah. Oh, and also
We're there too.
and should take notice to tell Dave Filoni I'd like to write and direct a Star Wars project.
There we go. That's it.
Here's
Get the
your
plug
man.
in.
Right there.
I do not blame
Red
you.
5 standing by. Right there.
Red 5.
Red 5 stand by. Oh yeah,
Oh,
maybe
it's amazing.
I can cameo in the Filoni movie as an
Perfect.
X-wing pilot.
All of us.
There
We
you
need
go.
all of us to get a cameo. That'd be incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know some
man.
people did
Dave.
for Kenobi. as
Yes,
well,
that's
and
true.
I'm into. I'm ready to cameo in his movie as an X-wing
Oh,
pilot.
well, look, let's get Becca's plug in. Becca, this is also to Tarkin's Top Shelf. This is to their page. So, Becca, if you don't mind plugging again before we close this thing out.
Sure. So Tarkin's Top Shelf is wherever you are on social media. We are there, even on the Blue Sky. We're everywhere. Just Tarkin's Top Shelf. You can listen to us wherever you catch your pods. We are everywhere. Kanata's Castle is the same thing. We are across all social media at Kanata's Castle, except for what's X or 10 or Twitter, whatever you call it now. That is, I'm sorry, that's Castle Kanata. And again, all your podcatchers, we are there. If you want to say hi to me, I am across all social media at YouAreAngelB. That's the handle. So say hi.
Oh,
Go,
I
follow
love.
both of these wonderful people, guys. For real,
So,
for real.
For one
Please.
thing that some people might not know, Becca, we've had the opportunity to collaborate together on Podathon and other things. We've
Yeah.
always talked back and forth. Becca, you have not been on Bombadcast, so we have to baptize you with our favorite
no.
Paul
We have to
Stanley
baptize you
video.
in fire.
Here we
Okay.
go, Becca,
It's not
and
that
everyone
bad,
else watching.
but it's pretty bad.
This is your wake-up call. Time to reach, go for it all. Vulture stirs inside of me, and I know what I can be. Limit is the sky. Hey world, watch me fly. The best part of waking up is vultures in your cup.
Okay, what'd you think of that? Paul Stanley, right?
But
Do
hey,
you, do you think Night Sister magic when he disappears, or what do you,
no,
what do you think?
I'm sorry. No, not at all. I was like, thank God. I'm sorry.
He's
Thank the
gone.
Force.
Thank you, the Force. Well, look, everyone, thank you for watching this evening. Next week, we have a couple of great guests. We have a female film collective coming on. We've got Baven, we've got Baven, Megan, and of course, we've got our friend John Shaw coming on to be able to talk about
Love
next
these
week's episode.
people.
So
That's going to be a good episode, guys.
It's going to be
good.
awesome. But Becca, since it's your first time and Bombadil did it last time, we're going to have you do our obvious sign out phrase. Can we get a good Stay Bombad to close out this show?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Stay Bombad.
Yes!
Yes.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Jackie. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer.
If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
come on, change. No message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Time for us to take a break, but we wouldn't dream of being gone for long. See you in a little bit.